Reaction from the teams. Quite the night there, Alicia.
It was quite the night, Jason, and I am now officially a fan of curling. I thought I was before, but once you immerse yourself in a 3-hour game in multiple games, you learn so much about the sport and so much about the athletes. And Team Schuster, of course, the face of curling, he was going for his 6th Olympics, and he just couldn't quite get it done. He is a 5-time Olympian, and it may stop there. We don't know yet, but yeah, 4 more years. We'll find out if he wants to do it again. But his family's reaction when he lost. I looked up at his 2 young boys, tears streaming down their face. Take a look at this. This is the hug right after Schuster lost, and he's just consoling his kids. And he said, you know, you don't get him every time. He did show up to play today or last night, but you can't get them all. And he was just hugging his boys. So it was a really emotional moment. But listen to what he had to say after he lost.
These guys are very, very ready. So, you know, my advice is just keep curling like your game. And, you know, a curling game's a curling game's a curling game, whether you're playing for finals, Olympic trials, an Olympic, you know, gold medal game, an Olympic qualifying game. All you can do is pour everything you have into what you're doing, whatever you're doing.
You know, you dream about winning this event for years and years and years, and, you know, you're practicing for this, and hopefully more too. So it was kind of a surreal feeling in the last end there. They deserve the world, and all the teams here deserve the world, in my opinion. So it's kind of a tough day at the same time, but honored to have played them and maybe continue to play them.
Yeah, Schuster obviously gracious in defeat there, giving advice to the new young up-and-coming Team Casper. And Casper, all of these guys, when I asked them about it, they've said they've looked up to Schuster for years. He's been curling. This first Olympics was 2006, and he's, like I said, been there 5 times. So he knows what he's doing, and these young guys learned so much from him. So yesterday, when Casper won, you could hear a pin drop. Obviously, his family and friends were all cheering, but a lot of shocked fans here last night. But it was exciting. And Schuster said, you know what, all my fans follow Team Casper. We got to root for them. They're going to be going on to compete in Kelowna, BC, and Canada. There's one more little hurdle. There's 2 spots 2 countries can claim to compete in Italy. So they do represent USA, but they still got to punch their ticket to the Cortina Milan Games. And, of course, we're going to be rooting for them the entire way. But it was so exciting, Jason. I know what a hammer is. I know the lingo. I'm a curling fan.
Yeah,
through and through.
You got to come back and teach us. We got to create a Team Lewis curling team here on Sunrise. That would be pretty awesome. Got to make that happen. Alicia,
we would be horrible. We would be absolutely horrible.
It would be terrible, but we'll try anyway. Alicia, thank you very much. We'll talk to you soon. So this is just the beginning. We are about 80 days out from the start of the Winter Olympic Games. Alicia will be heading there for live coverage on Sunrise. Cannot wait for that. Well, the other big story that we are following this morning here at 6:06, this is breaking news out of north central Minnesota. In the last 8 hours, we learned a man is dead and a deputy was shot in a shootout in Walker, about 3 hours from the Twin Cities. And Michelle Beck is at the live desk with some brand new information that just came in. Michelle.
The sheriff's office posted details to their Facebook page just minutes after 3 a.m. We're told there is body camera footage of the incident that could be vital to understanding how a man died and how a sheriff's deputy was shot. Now, until we get that video, we do have some brand new scene video to show you this morning. As you can see, state agents from the BCA were called in. The Cass County Sheriff says deputies first got a report of gunshots yesterday afternoon near some homes in rural Walker. Investigators tried to get a hold of a man who was walking in the area, but then the sheriff says he ran away and deputies chased him. That's when the sheriff writes in his release, there was an exchange of gunfire.
Shots fired. We need more units over at Bayside Resort on the road. 1088, we got an officer hit. Shots fired. 1088.
Yeah, so the sheriff didn't make it clear who shot first, but we do know the outcome. The man died and the deputy shot was airlifted to a hospital. I have reached out to see how that deputy is doing this morning, but Jason, I am still waiting to hear back. Back to you.
All right, Michelle, appreciate the update. Thank you. Much more to learn from this story. You can watch for the latest developments on air, online, and streaming on KARE 11+. Right now, flights across the country are back to normal. The FAA lifting the government shutdown-related cuts just minutes ago. Audrey Russo is at MSP this morning tracking this big change for us. Audrey.
Yeah, good news for those traveling through the 40 major U.S. airports that were affected by that order, including those here at MSP. If you look up at the flight boards, you can see everything is a green light on time this morning. And if you follow that thread through the afternoon, the pattern continues. Take a look at this. This is FlightAware. They're tracking 0 canceled flights at MSP today and 5 delays total. Now, in the last 24 hours, the FAA put out a statement saying they lifted the flight reduction order after seeing a decline in staffing shortages at air traffic control facilities. And the travelers we spoke to this weekend at MSP confirmed that their flights were pretty much on track from the day after the shutdown ended.
We'd rather have a delay on the flight than getting stuck in traffic and being worried about missing a flight. So I'm not worried too much at all.
We've had some friends that were flying ahead of us that their flight was canceled. So we were a little nervous, but it worked out.
We had really no issues this whole weekend and anytime.
So the restrictions are lifted, but the FAA still has some work ahead of it. The agency says it received some reports of air carriers not following that order, not reducing their flights. So it says it's going to look into those reports from those air carriers and possibly consider some penalties. Back to you.
Aja Russo with the latest from MSP. Thank you so much.